Hello everyone, I hope you all are fit and healthy. So students, in this video we are going to study another phylum, that is Echinodermata. The term echinos means spiny and derma means skin. So the animals under this phylum, they will have spiny skin. Let us first of all see what are the unique features. The animals under this phylum, they all are aquatic animals and they are marine animals. They are found in the sea water or in the salt water. So the three phylums which show this habitat, that is all are marine animals, they are Echinodermata, Ctenophora and Hemichordata. So this is a very important point. All are aquatic and all are marine animals. Then the next one is symmetry. The adults of this phylum, they will show radial symmetry and the symmetry is usually pentamerous. But the larvae, they will show bilateral symmetry. So these are the common features which we have studied in a previous video also. Then germ layers. They are triploblastic. So triploblastic means in their body there are three germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. And one more important thing, the radial symmetry is found in three phylums again, that is Cnidaria, Ctenophora and Echinodermata. So they all are marine aquatic animals. Adults show radial symmetry and the larvae show bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic animals. Then the level of organization is organ system level of organization. Then the coelom is true, so therefore they are eucoelomates, and the coelom, it is enterocoelic coelom. The details of this coelom, that is eucoelomates, and it is further of two types, schizocelic and enterocelic, we have already studied in the previous video in which we have studied phylum Annelida. Then the animals under this phylum Echinodermata, they have a very unique characteristic feature that is found only in Echinodermata, that is water-vascular system and tube feet. The water-vascular system is modified part of coelom through which the sea water circulates in the body. So this water-vascular system, it consists of network of canals that we are going to study now. Basically this water vascular system, it is serving as an hydrostatic skeleton. Since it is filled with water, therefore it will be serving as an hydrostatic skeleton. And it has tube feet also. The tube feet helps in locomotion, and the water vascular system therefore serve two important role in respiration as well as in locomotion. Now we will see the water vascular system. It is formed of number of canals. So first of all, let us see, there is a madreporite, then stone canal, central canal, radial canal and tube feet. So to understand these things, we have to concentrate on this diagram. So on their body there is a pore present, that is known as madreporite. Through this pore, that is madreporite, the water will enter in their body, and this pore finally opens into stone canal. So this is the pore here, that is known as madreporite. It is opening into a canal that is referred to as stone canal. This stone canal finally opens into the central ring or central canal, Then from this central ring or central canal, there are radial canals. So again I am repeating, the madreporite is the pore on the body through which the water will enter. It opens into the stone canal. This stone canal finally opens into the central canal. This central canal again opens into radial canals. And these radial canals, they have tubes which ultimately end into balloon shaped structures that is known as tube feet. So the water will enter from madreporite, it will enter into stone canal, then it will enter into central ring, then from the central ring it will enter into the radial canal, and from the radial canal it will enter into the tube feet. So this is the structure of the starfish. So in starfish there are 5 arms. So in each 5 arm there is a radial canal and tube feet present. So this water vascular system, it consists of madreporite, stone canal, then is the central canal, radial canal and tube feet. So when the water will enter through this pore and it will be circulated in the body of the starfish or echinodermata, then this will help in the movement. So therefore this water vascular system, it helps in movement, it helps in locomotion. Then let us see the body. In their body there is no interior and posterior end, as we have observed in phylum Annelida. There is a proper interior and posterior end, but their body is differentiated into oral and aboral surface. So oral surface is that in which there is a mouth present, and aboral surface means in which there is an anus present. So mostly the dorsal surface is having the oral end, oral surface, that is mouth. But in echinodermata, the oral surface, it is present on the lower side, but the anus which is found on the aboral surface, that is on the dorsal surface. So the oral surface, it is found on the lower side, means the mouth is present on the lower side and the anus is present on the upper side. So the anus, it is present on the dorsal surface, that is the aboral surface, and the mouth is present on the lower side. So therefore the body is differentiated into oral and aboral surface. Then you might have observed there are spines present on the surface of the starfish or echinodermata animals. So there are spines, these are mesodermal calcareous plates. This means these calcareous plates, these are derived from germ layer, that is mesoderm, and they have a calcium present in them. And these spines, they are basically helping the animal in protection. They are the mesodermal calcareous plates, that is, they help in protection. They are the immovable spines. So to understand this, we will see this figure. So what happens here? This is the starfish body, and this starfish has endoskeleton also, which is made up of bony plates. So in the previous phylums we have not studied any bony plate. So in this phylum, this is the most another unique feature, that is the endoskeleton is made up of bony plates, that is known as ossicles. It is also derived from mesoderm. The human endoskeleton, that is bones, it is also derived from mesoderm. Therefore, this phylum Echinodermata is placed closest to the chordata phylum. So, the endoskeleton, it is made up of bony plates which is derived from mesoderm. So, let us assume this is the starfish and there are bony plates present. These are the bony plates all over the body. So, these bony plates, they have another vertical bony plates present on them. These vertical bony plates, they are known as tubercles, which is appearing as spines on the body of the starfish or Echinodermata animals. So another thing to be noted here, that respiration is through dermal branchiae or papillae. So what is this dermal branchiae or papillae? It is basically a coelomic projection on the body. So this is the body. On the body there is a coelomic projection outside, that is known as dermal branchiae, or it is also known as papillae, which is helping in respiration. And the skin is spiny with pedicellary. So pedicellary means these are the microscopic structures on the surface of the skin which is helping in cleaning their body, which clears their body surface. So the skin is very important in Echinodermata, since first of all the skin is spiny, it will provide protection, plus the skin has pedicellary which helps in clearing their body surface, which helps in cleaning their body. And they have a dermal branchiae which is a coelomic projection. This dermal branchiae is also known as papillae and they help in the respiration. The water vascular system also helps in respiration and locomotion. So the tube feet is found in the water vascular system. So the two important unique features of the phylum Echinodermata is the presence of the water vascular system and the presence of the spines and their skin. So let us now see what are the excretory organs. So excretory organs are absent and they are ammonotelic. This means the chief excretory compound is the ammonia. Then the reproductive system, the sexes are separate. Sexes are separate means they are dioecious. And the development is indirect, means in the development phase there is a larva present. So the larva is usually bilateral, symmetrical, and basic larva form is known as dipleural larva. Their common examples are sea urchins, sea lilies and starfish. So this is about the unique features of phylum Echinodermata. So this is all for today. Take care everyone.